Hello, you amazing people. Welcome back to RX Memes. Today we are going to be learning about some more stories from Randonauting. If you are unfamiliar with what Randonauting is, check out my last video where I kind of explain it more into detail. And we're going to be learning about what the law of attraction has in store for some of these people. So if you're into law of attraction, manifestation, and that kind of unexplained phenomena, keep watching. No picture because it took me to a neighborhood, but the neighborhood happened to be one that I went to frequently as a kid. The exact house was the only house that had a mailbox with a beautiful flower design. I'm usually skeptical about this stuff, but it was definitely a peaceful sign to me. This person had went on this journey with the intention of peace, so I guess the flowers kind of represented peace to them. That's so cool. Like, how is it possible? I know it's possible, but it's just so unexplainable, and I kind of like that. I like that there's no explanation for this kind of magic. Today, after our morning walk, my partner and I decided to try out the app. Via the app, I got a void and we both set our intents and I tapped start. He was a bit skeptical. When we got to the location, I noticed some interesting things. My intent was my father, who passed away 10 years ago. The street number was the age he was when he died, and one of the houses right by the location had a picture up with a purple sign congratulating a high school grad. The grad shared the same name of my father's sister. My partner's intent was an old friend, but he was not able to find anything. Overall, a great experience. As I love walking, exploring, we'll be trying this again. One of the things that I'm like going back and forth with when I hear these stories, aside from being amazed and intrigued, is it a case of where you are looking for something and so your mind is doing everything to convince you that that is for you? For instance, zodiac signs. I do believe in horoscopes and zodiac signs and astrology, but a lot, like, I was talking to someone the other day and I was reading them their chart, and they said, well, I think that the same things could be applied to every single person and you would find similarities because that's what you want to find. So is randonauting just a case of that, or is it a case of the universe giving you exactly what your intent is? I don't know. I believe in the universe giving it to you, I think. I think. I don't know. Is it possible that I haven't made up my mind yet? Or that I'm just too conditioned to believe in this wholeheartedly? I don't know. I heard about the app from a friend, and I have been following this Reddit page for a while and reading all of the amazing stories that came from randonauting. I live in a very remote Indigenous reservation in Canada and really didn't think that the locations would have any meaning or whatever, but it did. I did 2 trips, I guess. The first void I put out a vibe for was happiness, good vibes, and it brought me to this landing by a lake where I regularly watch the sunset. Literally every time I'm free, I speed to this location that you have to get to by dirt road. I just thought it was a crazy coincidence that this is the place that I find most peace at the end of a long day, or somewhere I just come to reflect, and it brought me here. It also happened to be exactly at sunset, which is the time I usually go at. The weirdest thing that happened on this trip was that a wild bunny just sat in the middle of the trail for a while, and it was really cute. It also led me to some wild garlic, which I've been looking for lately because it's so darn tasty. The second one, I got a little more brave, and the vibe I put out was creepy, scary, and it was about to send me to this old trail where there's been countless paranormal stories. My dad saw a Bigfoot, my best friend heard singing, my other friend heard that same type of singing a separate time. My ex's mom got stuck in a time loop. My great uncle saw a little person. Algonquin myth. The entire res knows that this is one part of our res where weird shit just happens, and the fact that the coordinates were sending me there was just weird. Of all the places, I think creepy, and it sends me to a legitimately haunted place. I didn't even go because the stories of this place are so wild, I wouldn't dare go after sunset. It's interesting. Wonder what'll happen next time. If I was brave enough to do this at all, I don't think I'd ever be brave enough to put creepy or haunted or scary in, because that's just not what I'm trying to get more of in my life. So I went randonauting once with the intent to find something inspiring, but it was just a boring, empty field. I was skeptical ever since I've heard of Randonautica, and this just made me more skeptical. Today I was riding my bike, not randonauting, just going someplace, and I realized I went past the street where I generated an attractor the day before. The intent was something funny. It wasn't really that far away, so I decided to go there to make sure that Randonautica is fake. But when I got there, I saw a small dust devil. Some of you might live in areas where they are popular. but here they are pretty rare, and it was only the second one I witnessed in my life. I don't know if that was really that funny, but definitely interesting, and it made me want to try randonauting again. One of the things I find the most interesting about these stories is the people that set their intent and then wait like a day or a couple days and then they still find something when they get there, because it just proves that the universe's timing is perfect. Like, they went exactly when they had to go to find what they were looking for, and I think that that's such an important message. So I'm fairly new to this, but it's really interesting to me. My friend recently committed suicide, and maybe I could break through some sort of reality to see her. When I was thinking of my intentions, I wanted to get some sort of closure and or experience something eye-opening, or I don't know. So I put in void 1 server, and it was behind a cul-de-sac out by where I live. So I came home from doing this approximately an hour ago. It's 11:18 p.m. right now, so it's a little ways past a field. Then into this wooded area. It's dark out. Not horribly dark, but with my bad vision it was starting to blur. Now, this field was flat all the way through, and it wasn't very bumpy or very hilly, so the chances of me falling should have been slim to none. We arrive, and me and my friend went together with the same intentions, walking through the field just fine. All while doing this, my friend has her phone out so we know the exact spot to go, and I kid you not, when we got to the spot, which was a sort of grassy fieldy area off the edge of the field before, and it wasn't leveled, but for some reason my left ankle went out and I sprained it very, very bad. The pain is excruciating, and also on our way back to my friend's car, we saw a raccoon in the field. But here's the thing. It's a dried up crop field with no crops whatsoever. Now, I'm not a professional, but I don't think raccoons would be in that field. We weren't near any deep, deep forest. Now, maybe it was just a coincidence that I tripped right when we were inside the blue Google Maps dot, but I think that I was given a message, and I don't know if it's a good one. Once my foot heals, I'm gonna try again. Another addition. I don't know, honestly, that scared me so bad. The place gave me such weird vibes, and my ears were starting to mess up. Like they sounded clogged. I heard everything from a distance. It was euphoric. The whole vibe there was uncomfortable. I think some spirit or force was giving me a warning. I think that a lot of people that are into this might have a strong intuition, and I want you to remember to always, always trust your intuition, because this has been part of us as human beings since the beginning of time. Like, this is what has made human beings survive, is our intuition. So even if it sounds silly, even if it's like weird, if your gut is telling you to not go somewhere, just don't go. I have been randonauting for a couple of months, albeit sporadically. I've enjoyed every journey, but what struck me in particular is that after each one, I'd experience synchronicities, which were occasionally peculiarly detailed. However, I put them down to my mind, expecting and noticing unusual effects from my adventures. The other day, for the first time, I went for a socially distanced joint randonauting walk with my best friend. We both relished it, but the most intriguing part of the experience was still to come. That night, I went to bed with my earrings still on. I noticed it as I lay down, and as they were stud earrings, I thought, oh no, these are going to bother me as I sleep. But I was so tired, so very much on the brink of falling asleep, that I quickly ruled against getting up and putting them in the box where I keep my smaller pairs of earrings. The next morning, they were gone, both of them, not in my ears, not in the bed, not on top of the blanket, not in the pillowcases, not on the floor, not on the bedside table, not in their rightful place in the box, not anywhere. I do hope at some point they will turn up, as sometimes they do in these cases. This was the first time in my life that I experienced a glitch in the Matrix which I couldn't logically explain away. I can't say it's the first glitch ever, most probably the first one I've noticed clearly, as I know the earrings were in my ears the night before, and they were gone the day after. I have no history of sleepwalking or mental issues, and I thought it was interesting that these seemed to coincide with my randonauting activity. Has anyone else noticed anything analogous? Alright everybody, that's it for today's video. I hope that you liked it. I think tomorrow we're going to be jumping into something that has specifically to do with law of attraction and manifestation, and then we'll come back to randonauting a couple of videos later, or maybe the next video after that. Let me know what you want to see. I am really into sharing more positivity and less negativity on my channel, so I think that for the time being my older videos aren't going to make a comeback. So if you subscribed for that, I completely understand if you want to unsubscribe, because I just don't think I'll be giving the same kind of content that I did before. But for any new subscribers that are more interested in you know, happiness and being a freaking light in this dark world, then I would love to have you subscribe and let me know your feedback. I'd love to hear it. My social medias are on the screen somewhere if you want to touch base with me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.